Good morning. I have questions. The first question was asked by this guy in South Africa on the channel Loving Life. It's been cold in South Africa, and he said, what happened to the flu this year? It was all about COVID. What happened to the flu? We get the flu every year, but not this year. It never happened. It was cancelled. These are good questions, I think. And here in the north now it's getting cold. People will get colds. But I suppose it will all be COVID. There's no more flu. Interesting. Now, if you ask these questions, you are, according to the establishment, you are a COVID denier. That's a new thing. It means that you are silly and people shouldn't listen to you because you don't listen to facts. You don't listen to science. You ask stupid questions about COVID, like what happened to the flu. That's a stupid question, isn't it? So you're a COVID denier. They did the same thing with the climate change questions. People who asked stupid questions about the climate, they were climate deniers. Yeah. And speaking about this, there were big protests in Berlin recently against these restrictions. And people who were there, they said it was 1 million people. Mainstream media, they said it was 20,000. And that these 20,000, they were far right and COVID deniers. Well, it's very hard to lie about 1 million people. You can't claim that they are all far right now. It sounds stupid, doesn't it? And that they are all COVID deniers. So it's better to use this number, 20,000, yeah. Then it could work. And now they wanted to protest again, today, yeah, in Berlin. But the authorities, they said, no, you can't do it. We will stop you because you are far right and you are COVID deniers. Now, this was taken to court and the court overturned this ban. So it's on. Today, there will be protests in Berlin. Yeah, I'm curious about this. What's going to happen? How many will turn up? Yeah. And what will mainstream media say? Also in London. Yes. I don't know too much about what happens in London, but I think it's going to be big in London as well. Yeah. It's very good. The establishment, they are using this COVID and they will keep using it to put restrictions on people. So people have to stand up. They just have to. So it's very good that this is happening. I just want to mention this as well. I read this interview with Angela Merkel. And I thought it was very interesting. She was asked about 2015. In 2015, Angela Merkel opened the borders to Germany. 1.2 million people, I think, poured in. They got serious problems after this. People keep pouring in. They are keeping these borders open. Yeah, and she was asked about this, Angela. And she said she would make essentially the same decisions today if presented with similar circumstances. So she doesn't regret anything. She says, when people are standing at the border, they have to be treated like human beings. Yeah, I understand this. Yeah. But what about sending them back home? Well, how about controlling the people? Have some control of the people who's coming in. No. And then she said something. She said that European nations will face similar tough decisions for many years to come. How do you know this, Angela Merkel? I wonder. She says the subject of migration is not finished. It will be a constant theme for the 21st century, she said. All right. Well, yeah, that's my question. How do you know this, Angela? And will this lead to civil war eventually? They didn't ask Angela about this, but that's another question, isn't it? If you ask this question, you're a xenophobe. There's another one of these words. You're a xenophobe. Yeah. If you want to know if there will be a civil war because of what's happening, you're a xenophobe. I can tell you what I think. I believe there will be a civil war very soon. It's going to start in France. There will be another one in Germany, in Sweden eventually, Belgium, Netherlands, UK. And I think it's going to start when these nations run out of money. These nations, when they are no more of any use. You can't collect the money anymore. And you can start robbing people, of course, which already started. But then eventually you want to make this country into your own. And then that's when there will be a conflict, because people don't want to be killed, you see. So then the civil war starts. That's what I believe. Okay, that's all. Bye.